It's so weird being in the convention hall before everything's open, but oh my god, this is going to be so fun.
Hi, hello, buongiorno, and welcome to Annabelle and Ben's Antics, where today Ben has actually abandoned me to fly back to the UK and finish sorting out all of the stuff we left in England when we moved to Australia, which means that I am at Pixel Expo Level 2 solo. So join me today on this unique adventure as I navigate through the bustling crowds, see the amazing cosplays, and get to experience the electrifying atmosphere here at PixelCon Level 2 2023. All while I give you tips and tricks about going to a convention solo. Oh my god, this is going to be exciting, guys. Let's go! To make sure I had everything I would need for the weekend the day before, I packed my favourite card captor Sakura backpack. These things included a water bottle so I don't get dehydrated, some snacks because convention food is expensive and I'm a fussy eater, headphones in case I just need to zone out for a moment, a notebook to take notes whilst attending panels, any makeup I may need to top up during the day, for me this mostly means lipstick, and a reusable shopping bag as not everyone will give you a bag for what you buy, so it's a good idea to carry your own. And of course my camera, tripod and microphone, and some spare batteries that I would need for filming. My phone for sat-nav on the way there and back, and to get good convention photos, and of course for emergencies. Also, do yourself a favour and unlike me, remember to pack your wallet too. Oh, and charge your devices, people. Now, attending a convention alone might seem daunting and you're probably going to feel pretty awkward, but it's also an opportunity to fully immerse yourself in what you want to do. For me, this means that I could forget about Ben's preference of wandering around the shops all the time and attend as many panels as I wanted without worrying that I was leaving him by himself. Though I will admit that getting into costume without help, even an easy one like my 1950s milkshake Barbie, is annoying as hell. Also, as a side note, I'm not wearing my Barbie wig to this convention specifically because I am going alone and have to drive. Unfortunately, I do sometimes get headaches when I wear wigs, so this just didn't seem like a sensible choice when having to rely on transporting myself around. And then we were off.
So I'm lucky as I only live about half an hour away from the convention centre and they happen to have some very good on-site parking, meaning that I don't have to walk through the city streets in costume, which yes, I have done before in my Aurora dress, which drew a few interesting looks to say the least.
Then it was time to collect my ticket, or in this case my media pass, as Pixel Expo actually invited me along to document this event. So no, this video isn't sponsored, however I did get a free ticket to be here, which I am insanely grateful for as I am still looking for a job, so I wouldn't have been able to attend otherwise. I can't say thank you to the organisers of Pixel Expo enough, you guys are utterly amazing, and with that it was time for the opening ceremony before I attended my first panel. Now, it has to be said that I am a bit of a paper calendar person, so when attending anything, be it a theme park, a trip to the city, or an anime convention, I have to have a battle plan. For this particular event, that battle plan consists of 5 A4 pages. Is it extreme? Yes, but I am also organised. However, that was the video battle plan for what you are seeing now. For the actual enjoy the event battle plan, I simply wrote down a list of panels that I wanted to see and what stage they were at. That way I knew what I wanted to do and when, so that I can make sure that I was in the right location. It meant that I didn't miss anything that I wanted to see, while also ensuring that I had enough time to wander around and enjoy myself, as well as taking breaks, because snacks and water are kind of important, people. I also made sure to download a copy of the map of the event onto my phone, though to be fair, the passes that you get when you arrive here, including media passes like mine, come with a QR code, which if you scan, mean that you get a guide to the entire event, which was really, really awesome. However, I am also old-fashioned, so when I arrived, I took a photo of the map because, look, it's good to have backup plans, and this way I have 3 different options so that I don't get lost. Which of course means it's time to have a wander around.
And honestly, I was so impressed on what they had on display. And the best bit is they've actually divided the convention hall into several different areas, all of which I of course have to show you around, so let's go. Just look at these lights, who doesn't want to walk into a convention and see this? So this is the main stage where they are holding the cosplay catwalk and competition. This place is utterly huge, but it kind of needs to be for everyone that shows up for these events. I've actually been told that this is the biggest stage in Western Australia, so it's bloody impressive that they got it for this. To be honest, I'm really jealous of all those cosplayers who get to walk across it, but hey, next year maybe it'll be me. And then of course we have the panel section. Now I do find it really convenient that there is only one kind of panel stage here at PixelCon, because it means that I'm not running around to 10 different locations throughout the day. Not to mention that they've got an actual quiet room where they can have the panels going on, meaning that you don't have the background noise or music of the convention if you host it in the convention hall, which has been a problem with several panels I've attended because you can't hear what the person's saying, even with the speakers. And also, I don't know what audio system they're using for the panelists, but it is so clear I could understand understand everything, and I have yet to attend a panel where that was the case until, well, now. Then of course we have the Twitch Perth area where all the local streamers were hanging out. They actually did a really good panel that I was so thrilled to attend, all about streaming more crafting, because that is something that I am interested in doing. I don't know if this is something you guys would be interested in watching, is me doing live streams. It's certainly not going to happen before me and Ben actually get our house and workshop, but if it's something that you think you would like, please leave me a comment down below, because it's good to gauge these kind of things and whether or not I should be putting my time into it. Overall, this is a really cool room, and they actually did several live streams from the room itself while the event was taking place, and it's really fun, and it's nice that a lot of the streamers are crafters rather than just video gamers, even if video games is the main focus of PixelCon. Plus, they're really nice to chat to. It was so nice meeting some of the local community, and, well, it's good to meet people. I should make more in real life friends, but we know this already. So we're in the Let's Make Games room, and would you like to tell us what the Let's Make Games room is all about?
Yes, amazing. My name is Imogen. I'm in Let's Make Games and also WA Games Week. Today we had Rin hosting a paper prototyping workshop for little kids, basically showing them how they can make game assets and turn it into a game, like just by having bits and pieces and dice and such.
So you're encouraging people to make their own games?
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah, been walking around representing like LMG and WA Games Week, talking to developers and stuff, because we're hosting Perth Games Festival later this year. It is in collaboration with Pixel Expo, and we have like all of our events happening. So we're going to have industry talks, like an expo hall of game developers, and also like an immersive industry conference as well.
Sounds like something I need to attend. When is it on?
September, it's from the 17th to the 23rd. 23rd is the Perth Games Festival.
Yeah.
But all the days before that are all industry events, great for aspiring game developers and anyone who's really interested in the video game industry.
Okay, well, I will definitely be attending that. That sounds such good fun.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
That's all right. Thank you.
Photography is, of course, but I had several lovely pictures of me in my Barbie milkshake dress taken by several photographers over these 2 days, and I will be sharing those on Instagram as soon as I get them back. But oh my gosh, looking at the previews, I am so excited. They got some really talented local photographers for this event, and I am very impressed with their setup. Also because they've given the photographers an actual room to work in, which I know that a couple of the guys had some issues with ceiling height, but overall it's nice to be able to pull whatever poses I want without having a massive crowd of people staring at me. Definitely another plus for PixelCon.
Okay, so Cosplay HQ is utterly wonderful, and the thing is, these guys have a little bit of a reputation to uphold because they have saved me at several conventions before. Particularly this lovely lady here helped me with my Aurora wig at Hoshi and literal lifesaver. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So they have been busy here. If anyone needs anything, if you need to quick stitch, hot glue, you have everything, don't you?
Things for contact lenses, wig care, brushes, hairspray. We've got about 10 different types of adhesive, bobby pins, hair lackeys, you name it, we pretty much have it.
And then the best bit is earlier, because I'm by myself, obviously going to the bathroom in several petticoats, a little bit awkward. They even took care of my camera for me for 5 minutes so that I could have a break, which was really good, and I am so grateful for it. They're going to be utterly slammed tomorrow. We have snuck in now while it is quiet, but they have an awesome space set up here and definitely living up to your reputation.
Oh, thank you.
After that, there is Tokyo Alley, which has the best sign in the entire convention. I think just look how cute and adorable this is. They are running several activities here, including a monogram puzzle, which looks adorable. They've got colouring pages that are done by their own original artists, and the art for Tokyo Alley is utterly amazing. They do have their own convention that I sadly missed this year, but next year I will definitely be going. They've got a make your own manga book. I really want to see some people do this. I can't wait to come back later today. And then my personal favourite, make your own pixel character at PixelCon. Like, how good is that? They really thought these activities through, and I'm really impressed by them. Honestly, I've been overly impressed with how many activities there are at this convention, but I think these guys have really hit it out of the park for on theme. So one thing I was super impressed with, and actually had to get special permission to come in here early to film, is this, which is the BRB room. For those of us who don't speak millennial, that's be right back. As we all know, the convention and cosplay community, it has quite a lot of people who are neurodivergent in. Though I'm pretty comfortable in most situations, I know that Ben actually gets gets really overwhelmed by sounds. Most conventions these days are very good at having a corner of the convention hall that has beanbags in, but the thing is when you're up there in the convention hall, it's still really loud. I've used a lot of these spaces in the past and they're good, and it's nice to be able to step away, especially when you're in cosplay, because people know when you're sat in that area, they can't just come up to you and ask for pictures, though of course some people still do. However, PixelCon has taken it a whole step further, and I can't tell you guys how impressed I am. Rather than having a space in the convention room, they have an entirely separate room. The light in here is low, so it's really relaxing. They have noise blocking headphones out the front that you can pick up to come in here, or if you want to listen to some music, they actually have silent disco headphones, which if you've never experienced a silent disco, essentially everyone wears headphones, everyone's listening to the same music, you can jam together without it playing out loud. I actually first came across this on the beach at Byron Bay, and look, it's a really good idea, but having it for a relaxation room is a way of using it that I have never seen before, and it's just really, really cool. As well as that, they have several other things in here. Over here we have a bookshelf with also a grounding technique listed on it, which it's really handy to have those kind of things written down for someone who may be experiencing like a bit of a panic attack or something, because it means that you can read it and it gives you instructions on how to ground yourself and stay calm again. And there is also tons of comfy beanbags to choose from. So comfy. And even a swing. Who doesn't like a swing? Well, that seat's a bit deeper than I was expecting. Oh my god, this thing is cozy though. You know what, we've got about an hour until the convention opens, so I'll see you guys in a bit. On this central table here, we have Lego, we have colouring books, there's more colouring books with little hardback things that you can go and sit down and colour on. And then we have a ton of sensory toys, which is so handy. And then my favourite thing, they have a giant blow up dice. And honestly, this room rolls a nat 20. Yes, 20, told you. So I just realised, and I so want to steal this for my house. This is a customised pixel weighted blanket that is utterly amazing for people to use if they just need to feel like they're having a hug. So yeah, PixelCon, you guys did an amazing job with this BRB space. I think it's so good to have a place where people can just go chill for an hour if they're feeling a bit overwhelmed or even just tired. And it's really nice to have that set, safe space in a convention. And again, guys, I had to come in here to film when the con wasn't even open. And that's because they take making sure people have that safe space so seriously. Was it annoying that I had to get here an hour before the convention opened on Sunday? Yes. Do I care? No, because it means that if people are in here, they don't get to be harassed by people like me who have cameras, and that is never a bad thing. Next up we have the convention hall, which I'm not going to lie, it isn't that big, but when you consider how well they've used the rest of the space in the convention center, I think this is a really good thing. No, fine, everything isn't on the same floor in the same area, but they have lots of separate rooms that you can go do things in, and honestly it offers a little bit more privacy and a little bit more of an intimate experience, for lack of a better word. Besides, the smaller space means that the crowd is more condensed so that you don't get an empty atmosphere. It's got a really nice buzzy fill in here with people filling the aisles without being too crowded, which I think is perfect for a convention of this size. So first off in here we have the vendors. If you want comic books, pop culture gear, or manga or anime goodies, this is where you want to go. There's quite a large selection selling quite a variety of things, which is never bad, and of course Hit Dragons Play by Proxy and Oh My Gacha just had to be here, and they have new 3D printed dragons, guys. I need to not take one of these home, but they have new 3D printed dragons.
So last time I saw these guys at an event, I got one of these gacha balls and I got this exact pink robot, and it is so cute and adorable and I love it. So these are my favorite, guys. These are definitely my favorite, and just look how pretty these machines are.
So next up is a section that I have never seen before in another convention, and that is an entire area dedicated to newly developed games. These guys are mostly local. A lot of these games are made in Australia, and I think this is such an awesome idea, especially because PixelCon is a lot more video game orientated than a lot of other cons that happen in Perth. So this gives these smaller creators a chance to really sell their home-cooked games to essentially the public. PixelCon is one of the bigger events in Perth, and the attendance that they have here means that the guys who create these games basically have an opportunity to sell, get feedback, people try the games out. It's a really good idea and something that honestly I kind of wish we had in more conventions. Not to mention that it gives these smaller developers a chance to really meet and interact with their audience, which a lot of the time you just don't get when you're selling your goods online. These games look really fun, and I can tell the passion that people put into making them. The storylines are original, the graphics are amazing, the animation is on pretty much everything. So do I need some new video games to play? Yes I do. Let's try not to buy too much while I'm here, yeah? So here, guys, we have the food vendors, and I've got to be honest, though they've got a couple of things here, I have definitely been to conventions with more. Unfortunately, I'm a bit of a fussy eater, so I don't normally get convention food. However, at least they actually have something, unlike some of the places that I've attended. Could it use some improvement? Probably, but also I've seen worse. Next up, we have Artist Alley, which I'm sure needs no explanation. This is actually the biggest part of the convention, and there is some amazing stalls here. I'm really impressed with the sheer variety of artists, and it's really nice to see that most of these guys are from Perth itself rather than coming in from the outside. It means that convention goers get to support local businesses, and I think that's really important in our community. Now, we also have the Idol space, which I've got to be honest, I'm not the most familiar with idol groups. They're currently doing their performance, so I've just snuck in here while it is quiet. However, there are some amazing costumes on display, and oh boy, do these girls love glitter and puffy skirts, so I feel like we'd get along well. There's also several stands with meet and greets, and of course this lovely photo booth. I think this is a really nice touch. I haven't seen a dedicated idol space at a convention before, and I really like it, especially the costumes on display. It's so interesting to see costumes that are specifically designed to be performed in, and several of these costumes I've actually seen in other conventions, and it is so nice to get an up-close glimpse at them. Now, I mentioned that PixelCon was a hell of a lot more video game focused than most conventions, and where this really shows is in all the games they have for you to try. My personal favourite being these amazing pinball machines behind me, which are all based on Stranger Things. Yep, no they are, and they're literally called Stranger Pins, which is really quite a good joke, to be fair. Honestly, I think these things have been some of the most popular attractions at the event, because the only reason it's quiet enough now for me to film is because as I am doing this, the cosplay catwalk is going on, meaning that half the people have disappeared. Still, absolutely awesome, right? Another thing they have here, which I was incredibly excited about, is the fact they have card game tournaments going on all day, every day here at Pixel Expo. It seems that most people are playing Pokemon, and honestly, I'm just upset that there doesn't seem to be a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. I've also seen quite a few people playing Magic the Gathering, which is awesome. I have played that before, but it tends to lead to a lot of fights with me and Ben, so it's something that we keep but don't use very often, which is a shame because it looks like an awesome game. Definitely one of my favourite areas is the fact that they have had D&D campaigns going on here all day. I've listened into a few of them, though I haven't had time to play myself, and it seems like they've been having some awesome campaigns go. There's a lot of one-shots, a lot of people who've never tried before getting to experience it, and some of the table setups are very unique and very exciting to me. If I get time, I'm definitely going to try a game, but it's one of those things when there's so much to see and do, you have to pick and choose. We then have these two hands-on section where you can book in to build a Gundam model, let's hope I'm pronouncing that one right, or you can paint a miniature. Now, do I want a giant Japanese robot? Yes. Would I like one of the giant eagles from Lord of the Rings even more? That's where we're going. And last but not least, we have the Nostalgia Box. These guys are a museum in Perth who basically specialise in vintage video games that you can actually go and play. They've got quite a few things on display here today, and people have been utterly loving them. Honestly, they've been so busy, I haven't even had a chance to try them out. So they've got a Nintendo Wii in a glass case on display, and I used to have one of these in my living room, so that's making me feel very old right now. But the other amazing thing they're doing, and something that we of course have to do, is they are doing Pokemon dioramas. I sent Ben a picture, he's asked me to make him one, so let's surprise him with some of his favourite Pokemon. Very, very, very proud of that one. This place is called the Wandering Inn, which is filled with a lot of people sword fighting, essentially. These guys have some great sword fighting skills to display, and as someone who does partake in Tom's weekly longsword training, I of course had to challenge them. It went alright. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Jeez Louise. This is ridiculous. It's so cool. Go on, show off with the giant sword.
Wiggle for the camera.
Here's the big question. Is the sword about as tall as me? Because it feels like it just
almost exact, yeah.
It's like a couple inches in there. Jeez Louise, that is awesome. And now for that con-going advice I promised. So if you're going to a convention alone, make sure that you go in cosplay. This is because if you go in cosplay, people will stop and talk to you about your cosplay, meaning it is much easier to get some of those important human interactions, and who knows, you might even make a friend or two. One thing I experienced a lot when I first started cosplaying is when walking around a convention, I felt like everyone else was staring at me. Now, apart from that one time that Ben accidentally literally pulled my shirt down in the middle of a very, very, very busy convention hall. That has never been the case, and that is also a whole other story, which is on my YouTube Shorts if you want to check it out. Even if you are in cosplay, you are at a convention. People are so busy doing their own thing, and sure, they're looking around, but none of them are looking directly at you for more than a moment or two. Not to mention that there are so many people in cosplay here. Of course, you're not the only one being looked at. People like to see the pretty dresses, sometimes point them out to their friends, sometimes come up to cosplayers and ask for a photo, but no one stares here. We're all part of the same community and everyone knows not to be a freak. As we all know at this point, cosplay is not consent. However, sometimes, though not always, especially if you're a young girl by yourself, people can get creepy. So make sure you know where the booth of the convention staff is so that you know where to go if you do need assistance. Also, if you start feeling unwell, it's also good to know where the medical tent is. A lot of events this size will have first aiders walking around or actual paramedics here on site. However, knowing where to walk if you suddenly feel like you're about to faint or maybe have an allergic reaction because of some of the food or products that they have at these places, it's really handy and something that I would highly advise. As a side note, I always carry one of these, which I am going to blur out because it has my personal details on. It's essentially a business card that you can keep in your bag or wallet with your name, your phone number, your home address, but also contact details for your emergency contact. For me, that does mean Ben, which means that if something happens to me when I am here all by myself, he gets a phone call to say Annabelle's in trouble, and right now that would mean probably him having a panic attack because he's in another country, but normally it works quite well. So don't do what I do and make sure your emergency contact is at least in the same state as you, if not city. That way they can actually come and help you if you need it. This just means that if you have a medical emergency or, God forbid, an injury because you decided that stilts were a good idea and then fell on your face, yes, I have seen it happen, the people helping you out know who to call to make sure that you're going to get the care that you need at home. This is actually something that I've been doing as a kid. It's something that my parents would always put in my bag, and as an adult I've just carried it on because it's come in handy so many times, and it also means that if I lose my bag, there is 2 phone call options for people to phone to get my bag back, which has saved me on several occasions. As I'm here alone, I've made sure to wear a comfy cosplay, but it's really important if you're in a non-comfy cosplay, particularly the shoes, that you carry a spare pair with you. For this weekend, I am actually wearing my comfiest pair of shoes, and my spare change of clothes is currently in my car, which is literally just below the convention centre, making it easy to access if I need. And make sure to take a break. I am honestly terrible for this because I love being on my feet all day, which might be why during one of the panels I attended yesterday, I actually snoozed off for about 15 minutes, which was really embarrassing. Not to mention that I normally hate eating in costume, which normally means that by the end of the day, I am dehydrated, hungry, and grumpy. So don't do that. Don't be like me. It's really important not to overtax yourself, especially if you're by yourself and in costume. And again, if you're like me, horribly socially awkward, you don't want to go up to a random person and just be like, hey, I'm not feeling great. Can you find someone to help me or help me yourself? Because that is a very awkward turtle had awkward babies moment. So eat, drink, and relax. This is supposed to be a fun event, definitely not stressful, and it's really important that you actually take the time to enjoy yourself rather than just rushing around like a headless chicken. Before the convention, I'd also advise checking out the event Facebook page, Instagram, website, anything like that. A lot of the time they'll advertise cosplay meetups, and if you're going in a costume that can go into one of those cosplay meetups, that means that you get to meet loads of people who are into the same thing as you. To be honest, considering the Barbie movie just came out, I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't seem anyone was doing a Barbie meetup here because, hello, milkshake Barbie, isn't she amazing? Watch my making of video of her because I am so proud of this costume, especially considering she was a stash buster. Anyway, back onto the subject, it means that you can meet other people who are into the same things as you, have a really good conversation about media that you enjoy, and just have a good time with people who you know you have stuff in common with. I mean, fine, if you come to a convention and you don't want to meet other people, you don't have to, but I'm just saying that it's an opportunity to, and you can never have enough friends, says the person who has moved to her new city and has only made 2 friends in the last 7 months she's been here. One thing I make sure never to leave home without when coming to one of these events is a battery pack. These days, most of us live on our phones, and unfortunately, the phone battery does run out. So it's important to have a battery pack, and equally important, a cable to plug your phone into the battery pack with, so that you can charge it and you're not stuck missing out on photos that you could have gotten, messages from your friends about meetups you could have attended, or worst of all, no sat nav to drive home with, because of course the phone is also the sat nav as well. When packing to survive a convention, 2 very important things that you should always include, and the only reason I didn't is because I already have them in the first aid kit in my car, is plasters and paracetamol. You never know when your comfy cosplay shoes aren't going to be that comfy after all, and a blister is going to pop up, which means a plaster is needed. As for a paracetamol, whether it's because of loud noise or because you're wearing a wig, you never know when a headache is going to hit. So it's better to be safe than sorry and carry it. And having said that, ibuprofen is also very good for headaches. I normally have both in my car. On that note, if there isn't a cosplay repair station at your event, I would also highly highly recommend carrying a needle and thread. That way, if something goes wrong with your costume, you can quickly fix it. Bonus points if that thread is in a matching color to what you're actually wearing. And last of all, make sure you have fun. Going to conventions is supposed to be enjoyable, so take your time to enjoy yourself. And do that however you want, be that going around the shops, painting miniatures, or playing games, or even just sitting in the panel room all day. You've chosen to go to this convention because it's something that you wanted to attend, so make sure that you spend the time here doing stuff that you actually enjoy. For me, this was several rounds in the 360 photo booth, which, oh my gosh, it takes good pictures. Attending this convention alone has been an incredible experience. Definitely a few years ago, I would never have even considered doing this by myself. So I am incredibly grateful to the amazing cosplay community that we have here on my YouTube channel, because you guys have given me the confidence to do this. I really don't know how best to show my gratitude except to keep making videos for you guys, which is exactly what I plan to do. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to see more cosplay sewing and vintage sewing machine content, and please do subscribe, especially because having this media pass has been an absolute dream come true. I've applied for several more of these for various local conventions going on here in Perth, and one of the main things they look at when deciding whether or not I deserve one of these badges of honor is actually my subscriber count. So by hitting that like button, subscribing, and leaving a comment, it really helps to support the channel, support me, and help support make this amazing content that I know you all enjoy. Being able to be here, get backstage, get into the event before it's even open, and allowed into rooms where people aren't normally supposed to be filming in, it's been an amazing experience, and I cannot wait to do it again. If you have any suggestions for things I should do for my next cosplay convention, please leave them in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys next Wednesday, so have a beautiful day, and remember, make your next adventure. And that's it, guys. Pixel Expo Level 2 is officially complete, which means I at last get to go home and sleep. This has been an amazing experience, and I want to just take one last opportunity to thank Pixel Expo for letting me come on a media pass. This has been amazing, guys. I hope you let me back for phase 3. But until then, have a beautiful day. Bye!